We back. We back. So excited. Copic Thursday 2. Voting Boogaloo. Good morning, CL. It's good to see you. Refreshing my drink here. Okay, it's gonna be like we never left. All right, we are back. Welcome back, everybody. Hope y'all are doing well. Oh, I need to get... Simply have got to get... Wait, do I have 2 instances of Mix It Up open? That can't be good. I'm going to close this one. Okay. But I need to open up my Twitch so that we can do voting again. But I am going to finish up this Kirby first, and then I'm going to do this sketch request. Okay. Now, I did put back my Copics because I wasn't sure what I was going to do. So I'm going to have to guess at the colors I had. Oh yeah, no connection to Mix It Up overlay. Okay, I think that means I need to... go back to
Been doing a
overlays.
skeletal study of a rabbit all day. Now I'm also a skeleton.
Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that you're a skeleton, but thank you for the sub. You are also almost at 1 year. You're nearly a bronze bear. So I'm going to go in and try to fix this overlay thing because I accidentally had 2 instances of... There we go. It should be working now. I had 2 instances of Mix It Up open. Because I didn't close it the last time I closed my stream. I'm still getting used to it. Okay. I don't think this was the right color. Yes, I am super, super excited about Earthbound. Actually, one of the first things I thought when I saw that announcement on the Direct was I could very easily stream Earthbound now. wasn't sure if people would want to watch me stream that, only because I've played it a million times. So it's not like I would be doing a first-time playthrough, which I know are sometimes more fun to watch. You will watch? Maybe I will. I love that game to pieces. It's one of my all-time favorites. I still have the original cartridge for it downstairs. I also own it on Virtual Console on the Wii U. And I have it on my SNES Mini. I've got that game over and over. Let's get a little bit of black ink. Glad to see it hasn't completely dried up. Man, it's been a long time since I got the old ink out. Does not want to flow. Man, it really doesn't want to flow. I wonder if the ink is, like, gotten gummy. Yeah, it does seem pretty gelatinous. But this ink is fairly old now, but I didn't know... Does ink have an expiry date? I'll have to look into that. Yeah, even like big old drops take forever to fall. It always works when I'm testing it, and then the second I put it on the paper. Well, I might have to get out my new ink then. Let's try the number 4 before I open up the new stuff. I haven't used the number 4 as much as the number 2 ink. This definitely seems less viscous. Yeah, it's got good flow to it. So my other ink might just be dry. Hello! Welcome in. Yeah, that new Kirby game looks so cute. Very, very, very cute. Gonna put a cap on these before I knock them over. This is almost starting to feel like a Renaissance painting. Madonna and child vibes. Give the tomato a little bit of texture. Oh, Crystal Shiva, that's so nice. I'm really excited to hear that. Limited palette works can be daunting at times, but ultimately I feel like I level up the most when I limit myself in that way. Okay, let's give this a little sign. I think it's the first thing I've signed in 2022. Weird. Little Kerbo. But we're not done. Oh, no, we're just getting started. I'm gonna get the next one out here. Let's tape it down. And we're gonna do a whole other piece, start to finish. So let's go. Let's get hype for art. Okay, now, Copic Thursday. We gotta do some voting. So let's get the first round of voting underway after I do a very special sketch request from Plutastar, who, when their name was read out loud by the voice speech-to-text, or text-to-speech earlier, was very funny, and I can't remember how they pronounced it. Plutastar? Something like that. But I'm going to do their sketch request first. And that's going to be Pluto from Omori Arm Wrestling Geo Dude. The dude obviously being the dude right here. Our precious friend. You don't need to remember. Yeah. The past is in the past, I understand. So I need to Google Pluto from Omori. I see why you want this now. They're very similar. So, what I'm going to do for the sketch request, I actually can't find my my big sketchbook that I had been doing Copic work in before my break. I know that it's around here somewhere, I just can't find it. So instead, I'm just going to take off a big chunk of fresh Bristol. And this big fellow here is going to be, well, you can't even see it because I can't get it all in frame, but it's a really, really, really big piece of paper. This is going to be my sketch request paper. But an important thing I need to do is move the card because it has blobs of wet ink. So I'll put that over there. And I'll put this right here. And then I'll get one of my sketching pencils here. One of my new ones. Feels really nice. Very, like satiny finish on these pencils. It's got a nice line to it. Okay. Now, do I have the dude? I may have removed it from my stream overlay. But I know that it's in my Twitch folder where I keep all of my curses. Yep, there he is. Okay. So I will draw this friend battling another one. So the sketch request will go here. Block off this little area. Now, the biggest difference I'm seeing between Pluto and a Geodude is Geodudes have big Popeye forearms, and I did that as if I could ever approximate. I've got pretty big arms, but they're not Popeye arms. Whereas Pluto, the arms are more regular. Shows you how often I arm wrestle. I feel like the last time I arm wrestled, I was at a comics convention. Because nerds love to get rowdy when they let loose. There are a few groups of people more apt to start an arm wrestling competition than a bunch of drunk cartoonists.
Ahoo-hoo-hoo, it's time to stretch.
Thank you, StretchBot. Okay. I will stretch right after I'm done this sketch. Alright, there they are. You do need to stretch before you arm wrestle. That is a darn truth. Because you might not feel pain in the moment, but you definitely will feel it the next day. Alright, stretching it up. Gonna hydrate. Don't forget to hydrate, y'all. Just gonna make sure that those ink blobs don't catch the other side of my hand off guard. Because we know that that's bound to happen eventually. Okay, it's time to vote. So, top to bottom, and those will be the markers that we're voting for. Just going to close the million tabs that I have open. And let's do this. All right, so new poll, first marker. So we've got E43, G00, Goo, E29, a lot of earth tones, B29, and YG06, that's yellow, green, 06. 1 minute on the clock, starting now. Let's do it. Welcome back, Azumi. Right in time for the vote. Got my nib ready. I've got my pencil. Gonna put markers back. Lovely. All right, let's see the results coming in live. Looks like E43's got a commanding lead. YGO6 catching up. Later, Shiva. Thanks for dropping by. E43 indeed wins the voting round. So that's going to be our first marker. Set those aside. Put the winners over here. And what's next? All right, more earth tones coming at ya. Second marker. So we've got E77. Nice deep dark brown. We've got R59. It's red 59. G000. So we've had goo, and now we have got goo. And then BG23. That's blue green 2, 3. And finally E53. E53. All right, 1 minute on the clock. Let's go. Goo and goo. Ooh, BG23 getting some huge love in this round. Is Goo gonna catch up? Are we gonna get any ties? Are we going strict, super limited palette? All right, BG23 it is. Coral C. Moving on. Next round, ooh, Pastel Paradise. New poll, let's do it. Third marker. It's gonna be Y06, that's yellow 06, BG 10. Cool shadow, use that one all the time. G21, RV23, and Violet 09. 1 minute, let's go. Or goo. Feel like it's probably going to be stretch time again soon. But I'm not sure. That's up for the robot to decide. Okay, about halfway through. RV23 taking commanding lead. Oh, no longer commanding. G21 on its heels. Jack Frost nipping at its nose. Looks like the votes are pouring in. I feel like people are using a lot of points right now. Oh, is it gonna... No, it did not tie up. It came close. RV23 moving through. Pretty cute. Cute selection here. All very different colors. Use as many points as it takes Exactly. That's the spirit of color selection. Ooh, I like this batch. This feels very 1970s illustration. Some nice brown and pink and tan and green. Final marker. All right, so for the final voting round, we've got E71, which is champagne. Got sepia, E37. YG11, mignonette. It was one of the first markers I ever bought a refill for. E11. Earth tones, earth tones, earth tones, all the way down. And then finally, light prawn, R22. 1 minute, the final vote of the day. I'm very interested to see what we can build with this palette. It's a lot of very light values, so we could do something ethereal or like dreamlike, since there's not a lot of variance between these. Let me pop them down on the card here. So that's that one. So they're all in a pretty similar value range, especially when they dry. It's going to be interesting to see. And as the final marker selection wraps up, it looks like we might have a tie, but maybe not. No, I think YG11 might be yes. YG11 by 2 votes is going through. Okay, so very light pastel colors. Oops. Oh, and very satisfyingly, it means I get to put back all of these markers that I took out and dropped all over my desk. In you go, into your little homes. Like the world's easiest reverse crane game. Okay, so these are the colors we have to work with. Very interesting selection. Very, very interesting selection. What are we going to draw? I try to usually think of something that doesn't involve these colors at all in order to make it a bit of a challenge for myself. But I wonder, I mean, we got pink. We could do another mouthful mode or whatever. And we've got a lovely deep blue and green, so we could do they are very candy colors, that's true. We could do of clown, illustration of clown, that's also true. God help us all. Oh, Klonoa. I think I've only drawn Klonoa once before in my whole entire life. And it was for a Games Done Quick, I want to say. Or maybe for one of my game illustration commission things that I did. Let me look up old Klonoa. There's like different eras of Klonoa illustrations, I know. There's kind of a more chibified one with a bit more detail. Is there like a definitive cutest era for Klonoa? PS1's your favorite? Klonoa 1? I love that one of the, you know, when you Google something and look at the images, up at the top it gives you a bar of like different suggestions, different subcategories of that thing to search for. And the very first one for Klonoa is DeviantArt. And there's something very special about that to me. But I'm going to look specifically for Klonoa PS1 art. Oh, so cute. So cute. Oh, there's a Klonoa for Wonder Swan. That's fun. Okay, I just need to find a high-resolution version of some of the things that they're shipping to me here. Large size, please. Thank you. It's true, it was everyone's first art home. Sometimes I try to trace my internet lineage backwards, and I can only get so far before the history really starts to get muddled. So the early 2000s were kind of a grab bag of memories. There's a lot of like independent forums in that time frame as well. I love the huge superfluous collar that only really works as long as Klonoa's arms are up. Otherwise, it sort of hangs down like a sash. It's a really fun design decision, and it has the same width as the hat. Now, Klonoa also has a little friend. Should probably... Is the new game that's coming out a remake of the PS1 game, or is it a new game? I think I asked this earlier and I completely missed the answer. Unless we just don't know yet. Because I've heard people speak highly of Phantomile. Oh yeah, there's Klonoa's little friend. Weird little chibi puff guy. Remakes of 1 and 2. One is based on the Wii remake, but they made it look more like the PS1 one. I really liked the graphical presentation from the Direct. It looked really good. I have never played Klonoa, so I didn't have like a hard reference point, but I think that graphical style just up-reses really well, as long as you get rid of the kind of janky wiggle that a lot of PS1 games had. I think it's a very handsome up-res. That rocks. I'm gonna have to check that out. Whenever I've seen like clips of it, it looked like something I would have wanted to play back in the day. But we never had a PlayStation when I was a kid. We had the Nintendo stuff. So Super Nintendo and 64. And then years and years and years and years later, I bought a secondhand PS2 to play Final Fantasy XI, because that was the style at the time. But I missed a lot of those earlier PlayStation games. Okay, I think I've looked at enough pictures of Klonoa to understand what I want to do. Man, the Internet Archive is great for finding these old PlayStation covers. Klonoa was the very first game you finished as a kid? Wow. I don't know what the first game I played all the way through was. Without cheating. Because, you know, I grew up in the age of passwords, so you would just put in the password for the final level and then try to beat it if you could. I remember doing that for a lot of rental games. Now, the last one we had a left aspected composition, so I want to do sort of a right-facing one this time. I said aspected like it's a magic spell. I also miss rentals. We had a great rental store called 10 to 10 Video, which is an awesome name for a video store. And I used to get so much stuff from that place. Oh, there was another place that was also a laundromat called Suds and Stuff, which is a very cute name. and they just had like bubblegum candy and rentals. And then way later on, Blockbuster. The Blockbuster is now like a insurance adjuster office. Very boring. One thing that I absolutely love doing with traditional art that I'm really bad at doing, honestly, with digital, is just moving my arm around to do the initial kind of block in, just to find the shapes on the page. I really, really just love the feel of it. Just kind of swirling the pencil around until I see what I want to... Have any of you seen Demon Slayer? Sorry to tangent into anime suddenly, but the main character of Demon Slayer, Tanjiro, when he is about to attack his opponent and land the strike for the finishing blow, he sees a string, and it's like loose, and then it suddenly tightens, and then he knows exactly like where to slice. It doesn't feel exactly like that when I draw a line with a pencil, but it's kind of analogous. Like, I just move my arm around and kind of, like, search for fluid lines, and then eventually I'm like, yeah, that's kind of it, and then I just press down. It's sort of what sketch seeking feels like. Basically, I have anime powers. Yes, exactly. I just want more people to understand that about me, is that I have anime powers, is all. Now, why does Klonoa have a Pac-Man on he hat? Oh, it's made by Namco. Okay, that makes sense. Well, Pac-Man. Oh, I've been looking into getting a lead holder. They seem really nice. Especially because I tend to like to really expose the lead on the pencils that I use. But if I could switch them up on the fly, that'd be excellent. Yeah, some with like a nice metal finish. here's where I have to step back and go, how are those shapes looking in relation to each other? I'm liking it so far. Now I want the... So a thing I like to do, especially with a character like this, who's just a bunch of really chunky shapes. Sonic I feel very similarly about, although I have so much trouble drawing Sonic, is just step back and look at the bigger shapes they're made of. And not even just the shapes themselves, but also the relation between all of the shapes, because a lot of these characters were designed with shape appeal in mind and like proportional appeal in mind. It's like a really big part of why they look so cute or good. And with Klonoa,
it's time to stretch.
It will never not scare me when the stretch man comes. Okay, let's take a stretch and then I'll finish that thought. So, the proportional relationships of the larger shapes. Thank you, Itachi. Welcome back to you as well. Yeah, Sonic's gloves are wild. When it comes to drawing Sonic's hands and feet, Sonic's been drawn a million different ways and rendered a million different ways. But the ones I always like the most, his hands are almost as big as his head. I want to use a little bit of that approach when it comes to Klonoa here. Big hands. Really blocky fingers too. I like squared off at the end fingers. Hey, we're doing good. Well, I certainly am. I don't speak for anybody else, but having a nice time drawing some pictures. Yeah, that new Kirby looks so good. Kirby doesn't come out till summer, right? Or is it March? Is it spring release? Just absolutely giant feet. Is it pronounced Arceus or Arceus? It's Arceus in Japanese. And generally speaking, you can go by that, but also I think you can do whatever you want. Like sometimes when I'm confused about a pronunciation in a game, I look at the katakana, but also it's very boring to be a pedant about those things. Does an FF10 song? No. 13? Yeah, back to Besaid. It's definitely 10. This is a long eraser, so the eraser part looks like this. And then inside, there's like a clicky mechanism. So you can extend it, and you just put a little tiny bit out, and then you can erase. Nice and easy. And you get more of a pen control and a bit of a smaller erasing surface. I'd like to get eventually one of those electric erasers that spins. Those seem really nice. Okay. Now I gotta think about how I want to silhouette the ears in this piece now that I have kind of the main body more or less figured out. I kind of would also like the other foot over here. I might even move the other foot in front to make it a bit more dynamic. A bit more anime, you know. Nomura out here nodding his head. So with the ear, I want this one, the one in the back, to kind of be a faded background element. So I'm thinking of putting it I can like put it anywhere in this whole environment. The ears are pretty long, but they're not all the way to the ground in the official artwork. It kind of goes to the ankle and then puffs out really big. So maybe a bit of like, with this pose, like caught in midair, falling backwards. Time is slowed down because it's anime. So a little bit of like... this. It's fun to really take your time with a sketch. I usually rush through the sketch part, if I'm being honest. Leave a lot of the thinking for the inking stage. Didn't mean to rhyme. I am currently drawing Klonoa from the PlayStation game Klonoa, which is getting a remake on the Nintendo Switch Entertainment Console called Klonoa is back, baby. I think that's the official title. You know what? I am excited for Portal to come out on Switch. It's been enough time since the last time I played Portal that I will definitely play at least Portal 2 again. I love Portal 2. It's one of my all-time favorites. This is not a hot take statement. It's like, hey, Portal 2 is a really good game. Like, yeah, we know. But, like, it's a really good game. The mechanics they introduced in that one with the... well, I won't say unless anyone hasn't played it. But I think the mechanics that they added into are really, really good. I'm looking forward to seeing it again. All right, we sketched the heck out of this sketch. Now, the little friend, I need to actually find a better reference for the little friend because I can't tell if they have wings or hands, which is a problem. I'm looking at renders of in the game now and they look like wings or hands. Okay, they're hands. They're hands. All right, so and they have like a little star floating above their head, which I'd kind of like to put here, because you can push around floating star antennae. I said that like it was a true thing and not just some made-up nonsense, but it's my headcanon. Literally. And then they have little hints. Or would I like the other one to be here? Clean up some of my guidelines. Get the silhouette a little cleaner. Yeah, playing a JRPG can be tough. For sure. Especially those older ones. That's why I've been I found it hard to recommend Earthbound for the first time to people. Because, like, you gotta be ready to play a JRPG. Even one as whimsical as Earthbound, like, it's still got all that same kind of baggage of the era with it. But I adore that game, and I would love to play that on stream. Would absolutely love to. Okay. Feeling good about the sketch. Let's see if there's anything else I want to adjust before I go in. I want to shore up some of these lines here. Kind of the silhouette of the hat. Sorry, I got a text. Yeah, I'm gonna change the silhouette a little bit here. Might also widen the mouth, I'm not sure. Okay. Now, just as a reminder, because I've been drawing this for the last 17 years, these are the only 4 colors we have to work with. This is it. So, we have to figure out a strategy here. They're all roughly the same value, as you can see from our test card over here. So, time to figure out the strat. I think, generally speaking, we can break these down a little further. I would say that this one is the darkest. And then these two are like the second and third darkest. And then this one's the lightest. So with that in mind, let's put in the light values. Now I know that color-wise, these two go together. This one also kind of does. It's an earth tone, which is kind of near yellow, which is tertiary to green and blue. This one, however, is completely different. Cross that bridge when we come to it. We also have the white of the paper and the black of the ink. So any elements that appear lightest in the picture, I'm going to use this color and white to color in. So that's going to be the little Pac-Man, the eyes, the gloves, and the ends of their ears. And I guess like the shading on the white part of their muzzle as well. So here under the hat brim, it's going to cast a shadow on the white. And it's going to look weird. It might look weird all the way through. I'm not quite sure, but we're here to experiment and grow. So let's see. Okay, now down to the gloves. So this color is actually pulling double duty here. I'm using it to shade areas of white, so it's the shadow color of the white areas, but it's the fill color of the yellow areas, like the eyes and the gloves. They're just fully colored in this green color. Because I need there to be a value difference between the white areas and these. So these areas will have shading afterwards, using that, whatever it's called, Coral C. Now, the pants are red, so those are going to be pretty dark. That'll probably be layering up different colors together, but the shoes have a light color, so I'm just going to fill them in with this green as well. Leaving a little bit on the edge for that light shine. Okay, now this... Oh, I gotta clean up these lines here because I can't quite tell what it is I'm drawing anymore. So I got the shorts. Don't need the construction lines underneath. Shorts, leg, and then the ear behind here. So I need to shade here. And this is all in the shadow of the character because they're lit from this side. So I'll just fully color this in. Now I'm using the same local color for the little star that floats above the friend's head, but I'm coloring it in double. I'm layering it up, which is something great you can do with Copics. So you can go back in and it actually makes a shadow color. Just add a bit more emphasis. Even though I'm not using a different color, it provides more value range per marker. Hey there, Starfish. Today I'm drawing Klonoa. A very cute little character from the PlayStation era.
Ahoo-hoo-hoo, it's time to stretch.
I was just feeling like I'd like to take a little stretch, so thank you, Stretch Master. Let's go ahead and stretch it out, everybody. All right. I'm switching down to the next darkest marker. This one, I think, especially layered up with the green, is going to be significantly darker in value. So there'll be some spots where I'm layering it and other spots where I'm not. I think this color I am going to use for the pants and the mouth. Yeah, maybe I'll just use... It's really fun having to decide where to sacrifice value for some semblance of, like, color balance. Or not color balance, but, like, good enough contrast that you can tell what this is. I know that in the end I'm going to have to use some very strong black ink in order to make a lot of this like make sense. Okay, so I'm going to use the dark blue. I'm going to do a layering of this color to get the nice separation between the front pant leg and the back pant leg. I need to let it dry a little bit first before I do that. Okay. Now I still haven't used my darkest color, which is going to be the dull ivory, but I also have to be careful of this one because it's going to make things much, much darker and also a little bit duller color-wise, which can be distracting. So where do I want to place these warm colors? I can also like reserve the warm colors for the background if I want to go that way, like with that rote. Don't know why I said rote like that. My Canadian came out. All right. What are we gonna do for the shadow on the little guy? Okay, trying to keep in mind that there's going to be dark areas here and here, down in here. Yeah, I think if I use the brown to do the general fill-in, and then I layer the colors on top of it, and then shade it with black, that should work. What kind of practice did I do to be able to use colors the way I do? It's a good question. A lot of my training and development has been just from observing others, watching a lot of videos on YouTube. No specific kind of like route of study or course, because I don't learn very well from like books or from somebody telling me what to do. As far as working light to dark, a lot of that comes from painting with watercolor and gouache, and Copics work so similarly in terms of working light to dark and thinking in that way. And then from there, it's just making a bunch of really, really bad paintings and drawings over and over, hundreds and thousands of times, and learning which things you think look pretty. I think that's, for the most part, how it goes. Definitely a ton of experimentation. I'm just trying not to get too discouraged if it doesn't look exactly the way you want it to. There's always going to be another chance. Welcome home, Evie. Glad you could catch a little bit more of the stream. Okay, now here's where we start layering colors together. Hey, thanks. Glad to be back. Oh yeah, I forgot it's way easier to ink if you don't have it taped down. You can just spin it. card's gotten so bad. That's what I get for letting it sit around. Especially so close to a heater. All the glue gets kind of gunky.
Ahoo-hoo-hoo, it's time to stretch.
It's time to stretch. Well, if you say so, let's do it.
Where did he come from? It is a strange story that begins many years ago. We'll all find out together.
The most powerful underground espionage agent in the Western Hemisphere. I've been trying to get my hands on him for years. What's his next move?
But since you ask, I'll give it to you straight.
Okay, now comes the fun part. Do all kinds of filling in. I'll just go for the big dog, the black Copic. I'll also be using the Chungus as well, where needed.
It's been 16 months already? Good golly. Love supporting you.
Thank you so much, Itachi. And there we go. Just a little Klonoa to wind down the day. I'm glad I was able to get back and finish today's stream. Feels very nice. Thank you so much, everyone who stopped by today. I'm looking to be back next week with even more. I've got Gouache coming up on Tuesday and then Copics again next Thursday. So look out for that. All the usual end of stream stuff. Follow on Discord. Join the Discord. I'll follow you in the conversation. Exclamation Discord and chat if you want to join. Follow me here on Twitch. Subscribe if you'd like to support me. That's pretty much it. I hope you all have a great evening / morning / whatever it is, wherever you are. And goodbye.